Hey guys, it's Brianna here. So today I want to share with you a really crazy story. I have all of these like blog ideas written down, and I've basically like filled up a notebook of like things that have come up in my life that I want to like talk about. But this actually just happened to today, and it happened to today. This actually happened today, and I wanted to share it with you because I think it's just absolutely profound, and it's the power of setting goals. And I never really got it until today. My whole life I've been this like dreamer. When I was little and like my parents would be arguing or whatever, or like if I was, at my dad's house and I didn't want to be there, or for whatever reason, if I was ever like in a position or in a situation where I was like scared, or if I didn't know what was going to come, if I was in an uncomfortable situation as a child, I would go off in the corner and I'd take my notebook and I'd go dream. Really. I would go daydream. I would go think of the future. I would go think of the time and the place when I wouldn't be in the situation that I'm now currently in. And I got really good at it. And back then, I didn't really know what I was doing. So, long and the short of it, when that was happening, I used to take this notebook, and I had this notebook from when I was about 8 years old until I was about 14 years old. And when I was 14 was right about when I stopped writing in it, and I had lost it, and I had, just kind of like in passing, like taken up the notebook and like written down like dreams and goals and things like that in it, not really realizing that they were dreams and goals, and closed the notebook and never really looked back at it. So over that 8 or 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, over that like about 6.5 year time span, I never really reread any of the things that I had written. So today I actually stayed home from my corporate job. I really wasn't feeling good this morning. I'll get more into that later, but I stayed home from my corporate job, and I was like cleaning and like reshaping and reframing my life. I just did an awesome blog post or video about consistency that I'm going to post, that I will post up before I do this one. I just had to get both of these things out. So anyway, so this notebook I found like way in the back of like all of my other like crap buried underneath paychecks and just papers and goodies and stuff like that, and just random stuff in the back of like a drawer somewhere. And I found this notebook, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that, I found this. And I started flipping through it. And I realized that over the course of my life, everything that I had written in that notebook had come true. Everything. I drew out my dream room, my dream vision board. I drew out my dream prom dress. I drew out my dream boyfriend. I don't know if I said that already. I drew out all of like my dream situations, and everything that I had written in that notebook as a child, I now have. It was crazy. And like when I talk about like drawing, like I literally, like a couple of things I drew, but like other couple of things that I wrote like in detail. And like when I reread it, I remember what I saw when I was writing it. It was crazy. It was the most intense thing I have ever really kind of like began to comprehend. It was just, I was reading it and I just couldn't believe it. I could not believe that everything had come true. So I want to talk to you about the power of goal setting, really. Like you don't have to, like, tip number 1, buy a notebook and draw on it. Tip number 2, watch the 15K formula, because then you will know exactly, the first webinar of the 15K formula, because then you will know exactly what you were doing and how to do it, and how to take it from being like over a 18-year time span to within the next 90 days. Like, I mean, now that I know, like I didn't know what I was doing then, but now that I know what I'm doing now, I have been able to drastically reduce the size of, dreaming point to actually reaching the goal point. So point A to point B. I've been able to like cut that time into like significantly small fractions. I don't know. So, yeah, tip number 1, buy a notebook and draw in it and dream in it. Literally dream in it. Anything that you could possibly think of, just write it down. Anything that you want, write it down. If you're in a bad situation right now, write out the most perfect situation that you want, and yeah. And then number 2, buy the 15K formula, because then you will know exactly how to take your dreams and get them faster. And Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. Alrighty. I will see you on the next video. Enter your email address in, or click the link below and enter your email address in. And like I said, I will see you on the next video. Bye, guys.